This is the last portion of a 5-part series. What's wrong with those equal signs? Text in from a 9th grader taking Algebra 1 here in Tucson, Arizona. If you too want to get answers in YouTube form, you can text your question and you can find the info at math2tube.com. All right, let's get started. So what we're looking here is a pretty complicated fraction over here. We'll call this one left-hand side. Okay, let's take the left-hand side here and see if we can simplify it. X plus y to the minus 1. As you remember, y to the minus 1 is really 1 over y. Okay, so what you need to do is simplify it, put it in a fraction form. As with any fractions, we need a common denominator. So we have a common denominator of y here. So what I did over here is I literally multiply by y, top and bottom. Okay. From here, you have a couple choices. If you see this one can be a reciprocal and you can see it, that's great. If you don't see it, this is what you do. Okay. And this is really 1 over 1 divided by x plus xy plus 1 and over y. So we're going to keep the first term, which is really 1 over 1, times, we're going to reciprocate it, or we're going to flip this one, okay, xy plus 1. So your answer, as you can tell from here, is going to be equal to y divided by xy plus 1. Okay, so the trick, once again, is I always tell my students, no matter how complicated the problem looks like, your trick is to get the first step correct. If you don't have this step, if you don't have this equal sign, nothing else on the bottom matters anyway, right? I mean, this is from the question to the first step of your simplification. If you can't get this one right, it doesn't matter what you have down the bottom because the answer will be wrong. Okay. Let's keep on going on to the next problem. This is a really realistically simple one. The error a student made here is attempt to try to distribute this, but you need to remember is this. When you have a left-hand side, let's call this left-hand side, okay, what you really have is x times the parenthesis y times z, okay. Multiplication has no order, so you have x times y times z. Now watch what you have on the right-hand side here. You really have x times y times x times z. If you were to combine this one, it's not 2x because x times x is really x squared times y times z, right? That does not equal. Do not attempt distribute when all you have is multiplication. Okay, multiplication, it does distribute if you have x here, y plus z. Now notice this is a plus sign. Then you distribute. That makes sense. You got to be fair for each one. When you have a multiplication all by itself, there's no such thing as distribution. Okay. Let's take a look at what happened here. The students didn't try to distribute, because if you were to distribute, you would have this times this, right? And there'll be another 5x. So do not do that. Do not do that. Let's see what we actually do. Let's write it out. Again, the first step is the most critical one, right? So we're going to write it out and we're going to take it slow. From here, we'll say 5 times 6, well, that's 30. Okay. X times x, well, that's x squared. This is what the student messed up over here, right? Okay, have a confident day.